Hello, and welcome to the Divorced Dadvocate, divorce support for dads, where we help dads create a healthy and less traumatic divorce. My name is Jude Sandoval, and I'm your host. I created this podcast in the Divorced Advocate community as a result of my own high conflict divorce, and because you as a dad deserve all the resources necessary to thrive through this challenging time. I encourage you to check out our website at thedivorcedadvocate.com, where there are resources that correspond to this episode, as well as free access to our membership community, where you will find live meetings, free workshops and courses, private discussion groups, and more. And now, on to this week's episode. Hello, and welcome to the Divorced Dadvocate, where we help men sort through their divorce during and after and create an amazing life for themselves and their children. I'm Jude Sandoval. I am your host today. I want to thank everybody for the amount of outpouring that I've had over the past couple of episodes. I sincerely appreciate the feedback last week. That dirty word, sacrifice, I feel like resonated with many men, as well as the week before, which has actually been my most popular podcast, and that was surviving divorce with a narcissistic, or co-parenting and surviving divorce with a narcissistic ex. Actually, we're gonna, a little show note, I'm gonna try to work with Dwayne in doing some more shows, maybe a series of shows on dealing with your narcissistic ex. I guess I wasn't quite as just aware that so many people or so many men are dealing with that. So I think it would be a fantastic topic to delve into a little bit further and a little bit deeper, to give everybody some more tools. I know the tools that I've learned the hard way with those over the years have been indispensable lately as I deal with my own challenges. So I'd like to do that and provide some more of Dwayne's fantastic knowledge. So we'll see if we can get that done. Also, another note, what we're going to be doing this week and over the next 5 weeks is delving into my 5-step program for what I do when I'm coaching men in getting through their divorce and life after divorce. And so it's a very simple 5-step program. It goes in. We're going to go into some detail, obviously, during coaching sessions, et cetera. It goes into more specific detail based upon your life. But if you hang on to the end of the show, I will have a special offer for you about coaching. I've been getting a lot of response to that, especially it seems like with COVID, people locked together, some challenges. It seems like there's a high rate of divorce filings going on at the moment. So just know that we're here and we're here to give you the resources. So let's jump in today. Today, I am calling this Dad's Divorce, or Dad's Guide to Divorce. In step 1, we'll talk about step 1 this week. I'll give you all 5 of the steps today. The first step is clarifying your vision and direction. We're going to be talking about that today and giving you some specific details about how to do that and why that's important as well. Step 2, strategize your actions. Step 3, upgrade your skills. Step 4, optimize your environment. And step 5, master your psychology. So over the next 5 weeks, we're going to be talking about those other 4 steps. But today, let's talk about clarifying your vision and direction. So vision is painting a clear picture of an ideal future that inspires people to action. I know that during my divorce, and I find that this is very clearly the case with most every man that I speak with, and that is during divorce, it is a time that is very uncertain. There are a lot of feelings, emotions that come up. It's kind of a breaking down of everything that you thought was your vision and your direction in your life. You're not seeing your kids as much. You're losing a partner that you, at least at one point in your life, you were in love with, decided to spend your life with. There's financial challenges, all kinds of challenges that are going on. Feelings, emotions come up. Just know that you're not alone. This happens. It happened to me. It happens to most every man that I speak to during divorce. And if you have the means to speak with a coach, to talk to a therapist or a psychologist, psychiatrist, absolutely do it. It helps you to sort through those feelings and emotions. If you don't have the means to do that, tune into this station. There's other resources like men's groups or other support groups, 12-step groups, whatever you may be able to find as a resource. Getting to that and talking about it, letting those feelings and emotions coming up and talking about them is absolutely critical. And always reach out to me if you need some help in identifying a resource. So as you sort through those feelings and emotions, it's going to be critical to start to develop a vision for your future self and for where you want to go post-divorce. So you may be listening now while you're in the middle of a divorce. It's not too early to start thinking about those things as these feelings and emotions come up, because like I said, it's all everything. I know I felt like everything was falling down around me, but sometimes that's a great opportunity and a great time for us to then rebuild and start thinking about those things. So, we might not think about this consciously until something difficult or challenging in our lives comes up, like divorce. And I know that for me, this was an absolute significant one, and I had not done the job of consciously and intentionally going through the decision-making process throughout getting married. And there's a great book, and I've shared it. I've talked about it on the show before. It's called, let me get the specific name, The Power of Commitment, A Guide to Active Lifelong Love by Dr. Scott Stanley. And in the book, he talks about sliding versus deciding, and basically kind of what that looks like as far as in the context of relationships and potentially your divorce, is that we didn't think about things consciously and intentionally in the beginning of our relationship and throughout our relationship. And so what we did is we kind of backslid into our relationships and then our marriages and then the rest of our lives. And then it ended up in divorce. So that might look like something like, oh yeah, I started dating my ex. We got along, we had fun. And then, well, my lease was up. It was more convenient for us to just move in together. And so we moved in together, and, we got a dog, and then our bank accounts were together. And then, well, it just seemed like the natural next thing, to get married, or maybe she got pregnant. And so we just decided, well, hey, we're already living together. Everything's together. Let's do that. And then you had a kid, then you had another kid, and then you bought a house, and then problems came up, and, well, the story is then you got a divorce. So there's nothing wrong with that process going through, dating, living together. While I wouldn't suggest that, and statistics show that people who live together prior to marriage have a greater opportunity of divorce than not doing it. But there's nothing wrong with that process, as long as you are consciously aware and making those intentional decisions along the road. So there's nothing wrong with it. But now that you're either going through a divorce or you've been through a divorce, you have the opportunity to reassess your life. And it's going to start with intentionally thinking about and clarifying your vision and your direction for your future after divorce. So how do we do that? Well, actually, first, let's talk about let's talk about why that's important. So last week on the show, we talked about the dirty word sacrifice. And one of the points and things that I talked about is, as human beings, we have the unique capacity to envision a better future for ourselves. So that's something that other creatures and animals do not have the ability to do, but because of our conscious thought, we have the ability to do that. So you think back to previous generations of how they were able to envision a better future, going to the moon, having a sovereign individual rights, and creating a nation that is founded on that. Elon Musk now wants to die on Mars, which is an unbelievable thought. I mean, I can't even fathom that. So we have that ability. And that unique ability to conceptualize our future starts with us individually in our own lives. So that's where I want to. That's the mindset, and that's where the concept where I want to start from. So Benjamin Hardy has a great quote.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Hey, this is Jude with a quick reminder about the Divorced Advocate Foundation for Fathers, which is our nonprofit that helps dads through divorce with legal education, free or reduced cost coaching, and mental health resources. If you own a business or know someone who does, there's an easy way to help by connecting credit card processing through our partner program. Part of the fees go straight to the foundation with no added cost to the business, and 98% of businesses are actually able to save money on their processing fees. It's a win-win. So if you know a business that accepts credit cards, get them in touch with me by sending a warm introduction email to jude@thedivorcedadvocate.com or give me a call directly at 720-255-1021.
When you decide who you'll be and the life you'll live, then you can have anything you truly want. And I believe that's absolutely true. And if you want more background about around the psychology around that, check out the article in the show from last week, or check out my article on medium.com, because it goes into a little more detail about the psychology around that, and the psychology of creating your future self and taking actions. And then what happens is, when you start taking actions, then you start believing that you are that person. So that's why when we're talking on this show, it's all action oriented, and we've always got some sort of action steps and ideas around moving forward and taking ownership in your life of moving forward, because the growing psychology is, when you do that, then your thought process follows. And that's kind of flipped upside down from what it used to be, which is, you got to create your mindset, and then your life will follow that. So they're finding that if you're starting to take action, your mindset's going to follow that. And so that's why we're always about taking action. So how do we start to clarify our vision and direction for our lives? First step, and this one I'm going to admit has been incredibly challenging for me to grasp over the last couple of years, and that is journaling. It is a phenomenal practice. I'm not good at it yet. I'm still working on it. I still struggle to do it, but I've started to create, and we're going to talk about this, the environment to make it conducive to getting this done. So step one, get a journal, buy a little journal. I've got some people like to write in the small ones like this. So for those of you listening, I'm showing a small notebook you can stick in your back pocket, or like just in your briefcase. Some folks like the bigger ones like that. I prefer this one more. Get one, stick it on your bedstand right next to your bed, because the best time for you to write in that is upon awakening in the morning. Why is that? That is because all through your sleeping hours at night, whether you're aware of this or not, your unconscious has been going through and working on everything in your life, any of your challenges, any of your perceived problems. And when you wake up, your mind is the most clear, the most concise, and the most creative of when it's going to be at any other time of the day. So when you wake up, don't look at your phone, don't turn the radio on, don't turn the TV on. It could simply be sitting up in bed or getting up, grabbing a cup of coffee or your juice or your smoothie, whatever it may be, and sitting down and writing in your journal. What are you going to write? Just dump your thoughts. Just get out whatever's come up. There might be something that's come up while you're sleeping, but I am going to give you 4 specific questions to look at and contemplate in your journal that's going to help you to clarify your vision and your direction. Okay. The first one is going to be, what is your future self 3 years from now? So we often don't give ourselves enough credit for what we can do in 3 years and give ourselves more credit than what we can do in 1 year. So that's why we pick the 3-year time frame. So you're going to write in your journal every day, who is your future self 3 years from now? The next question I want you to ask yourself and journal about is, what is the normal life of your future self? So right now, your life, like I said, and mine was, it's in upheaval. You don't know what it is. You might be staying somewhere temporarily. You may not be seeing your kids. We want to create that future self, what your quote unquote normal future self is going to be, what you want that to be. The next question you're going to ask and journal about is, what matters to your future self? Again, we're going through a difficult, challenging time. It's questioning a lot. You may be questioning. I know I did question a lot of things, my decision making, what's going to happen, how is it going to happen? So you want to take the time to determine what matters, because I know that for me, through the divorce process, it really helped me to clarify what matters most to me, and that was my children and creating a family and having a secure family and family environment and a family life. And that wasn't always necessarily the top of my list. And so that was something that helped me figure that out. So talk about or journal about what matters to your future self. And the last question, why do you want to become this person? This, again, just falls in line with just the breaking down of what you may have thought was your vision or who you are, and what you may have thought your direction is and where it's going. Maybe some of that is still the same and can happen, or it can still happen, or it might still be the case. Maybe it's something completely different. So let me give you those 4 questions again. The first is, who is your future self 3 years from now? The second is, what is the normal life of your future self? The third, what matters to your future self? And the fourth, why do you want to become this person? Now, this last point is the most important point. You need to do this for 21 straight days. And this is the concept that if you do something for 21 straight days, it becomes a habit. And if you do it for 90 straight days, then it will become a lifestyle change. So we want to first start creating this as a habit. It's not actually a habit. Habit is something like you reach for the toothpaste or the toothbrush at the same place every day because that it's right there. But what you're creating is an environment and the habit of, doing this on a regular basis. Making it, really, the best way to say it is making the choice to do this every day. So after 21 days, you start seeing the benefits, and you're continuing to make that choice. You've created the environment by having the journal and a pen right next to you when you wake up, and so you make it very easy for you to make that choice. You want to do this for 21 straight days. And that is critical, because then over the next 4 weeks, we're going to be talking about other things that we're going to want to, like when we start talking about strategizing your actions and optimizing your environment, all that stuff. We're creating a holistic approach to allowing you to take this vision and direction and then start implementing it into your life. All right, so that's step one. Step two is taking the time upon awakening to perform some kind of quiet, meditative prayer or other contemplative practice. So it doesn't have to be, mine is meditation. So I've been meditating for decades. That's my go-to. I am able to do it every single day. I have to do it every single day now because it's become a lifestyle. It's become a lifestyle change for me. I just don't feel centered and balanced and connected if I don't do it. So I've gotten to the point where it's my go-to. It doesn't have to be meditation for you. It can be something else, but getting quiet the first thing in the morning, again, before you're turning on anything or looking at emails or phones or social media or anything else, this is going to be one of the top two things you're going to do. It's going to be the journaling and then some sort of contemplative practice, or some contemplative practice and then journaling, because what you're doing is you're shutting yourself up for the entire rest of the day, creating that vision and your direction. Now, there's a great meditation from mindvalley.com. It's called a 6-phase meditation. I'll link it down below in the show notes, or you can find it. I've got it linked on the Medium article as well. And it's an excellent short. Again, it's like 15 minutes long. We're not looking about meditating look, this isn't about what you see in the movies, like somebody's trying to get this like higher transcendental experience where you're communing with another world, and they're giving you a vision and direction for your life. We're just taking some time to do a contemplative practice each and every day, each and every morning, in order to help us clarify and clarify our vision and our direction. So if you can do that 6 days meditation, maybe find a smaller one, a shorter one, maybe 5 minutes, and just start with that. You just want to get quiet. You want to get clear, and you want to start thinking about and visualizing that vision and direction that you've been journaling for each and every day. Another great contemplative practice that is really simple and has multiple benefits is walking. And I know it seems really silly, and it's really easy, but it serves the purpose of getting you out of bed. I know if you're like me, some days going through the divorce and after divorce, getting out of bed was a bitch. And that going for the walk first thing is something that will just get you out of bed. It also gets you a little bit of exercise, helps you to commune with nature if you have a park or somewhere that you can walk as well. But get out, walk, maybe find some music, headphones. That is something that is going to help you relax while you're walking, and hopefully help you to just deepen that relaxation so that you can focus your thoughts on what I talked about, clarifying that vision and direction for yourself while you're walking. So mine is classical music. I love classical music, and that just gives me just this clarity of mind and thought when I'm walking, and I love to listen to it, and it just brings it all together for me. It could be something different from you, but just find what that may be. If walking doesn't work for you, if meditation doesn't work for you, there are all kinds of other things. There's David Wagner in his book. It's actually right here. Backbone. He talks about, and Dave is fantastic because he's been everywhere across the world, and he's done some deep meditation, and he's come to find that his strongest and best times for thinking and meditation and clarity of thought and contemplative practice is riding his motorcycle. So it can be riding your motorcycle, it can be running, it could be gardening, it could be yoga, it could be weightlifting, it could be cooking. I love to cook. Cooking for me is a therapeutic thing, and just being with the food and creating. It's creative, and then the taste. It just encompasses so many senses for me. I really like to do that too. So whatever it is, find it, do it every day for 15 minutes. So just like you're journaling your 15 minutes or 5 to 10 minutes, 15 minutes or less, you're going to do the contemplative practice for 15 minutes or around 15 minutes every day. And you're going to do it for 21 days. Again, you're going to create that, that choice every single day to do this. So, this might take you in having to prepare to do this every day. So you're looking at a half hour every day, every morning. So you might have to go to bed a half hour earlier, and you might have to set your alarm to get up a half hour earlier. Before, you got to get the kids out to school, get them fed, get them dressed, get them out to school, get them to online learning right now, whatever that may be. But you'll have to put some forethought into this. But I can guarantee you that this is going to help to build a foundation for you for the future of yourself and your children. So what this first step is, and it may be the most critical step, is by creating this future self, by clarifying your vision and direction for your future self, then we're able to move forward with each and every one of those steps. So this is going to be really the sole foundation for what we're going to be doing, or what you're going to be doing in the future, what we're going to be talking about over the next 4 weeks as well. So let's go back. Number 1, journaling. Find a journal, put it on your bedstand, 5 to 10 minutes, first thing in the morning when you wake up. If you can start to implement doing it right before bed, that helps as well. But again, these are baby steps. Do small stuff just to start clarifying your vision and direction, and finding some specific paths that you want to move forward in. And then some sort of contemplative practice right after or after your journaling every single morning. Do this for 21 days. And we're going to start strategizing other actions that you can start doing with your life based upon how you've clarified your vision and directions next week. So that'll be next week. Next week, strategize your actions. So the special, I promised I was going to give you some, if you hung in here and you listened to everything, I was going to give you a special offer. So I've just had an outpouring of a lot of people that are just challenged right now, a lot of men that are going through a lot that during this COVID and work and everything. So I want to be here to give you an opportunity to talk to somebody. You always have the opportunity to go to the website, thedivorcedadvocate.com. There's a button. If you click on contact/scheduling, there's a free 30-minute coaching consultation. If you just need somebody to talk to for 30 minutes, that's fine. Just schedule something in there. It's an automatic Zoom meeting that we'll schedule, and we'll get together and talk. I'm also offering half off of my rates for anybody that wants to do a package of 4 or more over whatever time period that they want to utilize those. It's just been such a huge outpouring, and it's been a challenging time for everybody. So start with that 30-minute free consultation. We can talk about what we're going to do. What I'm talking about over these next 5 weeks is exactly what we'll be doing in sessions. What we do also in sessions is just create that crystal clear vision for what your future self looks like and your ultimate success. And then, we'll go through other things like uncovering challenges, stuff that you're doing on your own now by listening to this, but I can help prompt you through that, and if anything that might be sabotaging your success, et cetera. And then just coming out of each session energized and excited and ready to take those action steps and move forward in your life and create the amazing life that you deserve and that you want, and that your children and you both deserve and want. So please comment below. go to, we're on all of the different podcasts everywhere. It helps me immensely if you will like videos, but also if you'll leave a comment on or a review on any one of the platforms that you may be listening on. Share this with a friend. I think we probably all know a man or many men, sons, fathers, friends that are going through a divorce or having a challenging time after divorce. So please share this information, share the podcast, share the YouTube channel, share the divorcedadvocate.com, and let's connect and see what we can help you with. So thanks for listening. I appreciate it. We'll see you next week when we strategize your actions. Take care. To hear the rest of this episode and access the corresponding resources, visit thedivorcedadvocate.com and become a member of our community. It's free to join and will provide you with the resources you deserve as a divorced or divorcing dad. Thank you for listening. God bless, and I'll talk with you next week.